In a quiet neighborhood on the outskirts of the busy city of Accra, lived a boy named Leo. Leo was a gentle soul, with a mind that saw the world differently from others. He had a deep love for patterns, numbers, and the way things worked. Leo was autistic, and though his mind was a wonder, it often made life difficult for him and his family. At school, Leo got bullied a lot because of the way he spoke and acted. Leo's autism often manifested in behaviors that others didn't understand. He would sometimes bang his head against doors when overwhelmed, flap his hands, or hum loudly in class. These actions made him a target for bullying at school, where other children teased him and called him names. They didn't see the brilliance behind his behaviors, only the differences. Leo's sensitivity to sounds and chaotic environments only added to his struggles, leaving him isolated. Despite the bullying, Leo found comfort in his computer, a world where he was free to express himself without judgment. Leo's father, James, struggled to understand his son. One evening, he turned to Sarah, his wife, with tired eyes. "I don't know how much more of this I can take, Sarah," he said. "It feels like I'm failing him every day." Sarah, weary but determined, placed a hand on his shoulder. "He's our son, James. We have to be there for him, no matter how hard it gets," she replied, her voice steady yet soft. But the weight of responsibility bore down heavily on James, and he found it hard to connect with Leo. The sleepless nights, the unpredictable routines, and the constant demands wore James down. One day, overwhelmed and unable to bear the pressure, he made a decision that would change everything. "I can't do this anymore," James muttered under his breath, packing a bag. And with that, he left without saying goodbye. When Leo asked where his father had gone, Sarah's heart broke. "Daddy had to go away for a while," she said, holding back tears. "But I'm here, Leo. I'm not going anywhere." With James gone, Sarah, who worked as tax consultant, took on multiple jobs, working long hours to provide for her son. Every morning she would wake up before dawn, prepare breakfast for Leo, and drop him in school before heading off to work. "Be good in school, Leo," she would say, kissing his forehead. "I'll try to pick you up early today." Leo, on the other hand, hated going to school because of bullies. He would always ask his mother if he could be homeschooled. His mother, seeing the need for socialization, refused to homeschool Leo but rather changed his school to a special school, where Leo met his kind and also made friends. Despite the school fees being expensive to come by, Sarah never let her exhaustion show. She always greeted Leo with a smile, even when her body ached with fatigue. "How was your day, sweetheart?" she would ask, knowing that Leo often found it hard to express himself. Leo, in his own way, understood what his mother was going through. "I made a new code today, Mom," he'd say, his eyes lighting up. "It makes the computer talk to me." Sarah found herself facing a harsh reality. She was alone in raising her special son. She sought solace in the Bible and prayer. Every night, after long days of work, Sarah would kneel beside her bed and pray for Leo. "Please, God, heal my son. Let him be like the other children. I can't do this alone. I need a miracle." Despite her prayers, Leo's condition remained the same. Weeks turned into months, and Sarah's desperation grew. Word spread among people about pastors performing miracles, and soon Sarah began visiting those pastors who were offering promises of healing for a price. "Just a small donation, Sister Sarah," one pastor said, his voice dripping with false reassurance. "And your boy will be healed in no time." Sarah, desperate for hope, gave what little money she had to these men. But nothing changed. Leo remained the same, and Sarah's financial situation worsened. One day, after yet another visit from a pastor who promised a miraculous cure for an outrageous fee, Sarah broke down. "I've given everything," she sobbed. "Why isn't God answering me?" But as time passed, Sarah began to see through the false promises. She realized that her son didn't need to be healed from who he was. Leo was perfect in his own way. One evening, after sending Leo to bed, she sat quietly and prayed again, but this time, her prayer was different. "Lord, I've been asking for a miracle that may not be your will. If it is your will, let Leo be as he is, and help me to love him as he is. I trust in your plan." With that prayer, Sarah found a peace she hadn't felt in years. She stopped seeking out miracle healers and focused on giving Leo the best life she could. "I love you just the way you are, Leo," she whispered to him one evening when they went out for ice cream and to have a little of mother and son time. Leo looked up at her with his soft eyes and gave a small, understanding smile. Sarah's calm acceptance of her son marked a turning point. She worked hard, taking on multiple jobs, but she no longer felt the same weight of desperation. Leo, in his own way, understood what his mother was going through. "Mom, I learned something new today," Leo would say when she returned home. "I made the computer talk to me." The computer, a gift from Sarah after months of saving, became his best friend. Leo was fascinated by how it worked, how it responded to his commands, and how the world of coding unfolded in front of him like a puzzle. "That's wonderful, Leo," Sarah would say with a smile, though the weariness in her eyes betrayed the long hours she'd worked. But there was always a sense of hope now, a quiet belief that things were getting better, not worse. As the years passed, Leo's autistic actions reduced and his coding skills grew. What started as a hobby became a passion, and soon he was building his own programs. One evening, he showed his mother a program he had created. "Look, Mom. This program helps people like me communicate better." Sarah's eyes filled with tears as she watched her son's hands move across the keyboard. "Leo, that's amazing. You're so talented," she whispered, hugging him tightly. Her prayers had been answered, not in the way she had expected, but in a way that was far more beautiful. Leo didn't need to be fixed. He was already extraordinary. Leo's work soon attracted attention from people in the tech community. "This kid is a genius," they would say. "You won't believe the software he's developing." As word of his talent spread, Leo began freelancing, taking on small projects that brought in extra money. "Mom, I got paid for a job today," he said one evening, handing her the cash. "I want to help." Sarah, holding the money in her hands, was overwhelmed with emotion. "Leo, you don't have to do this. But thank you. I'm so proud of you." She hugged him tightly, knowing that everything was going to be okay. By the time Leo was in his early 20s, his name was known in the tech world. He had developed several successful programs, and his reputation as a coding genius was cemented. But Leo wasn't content with just freelancing. He wanted to create something bigger, something that could help more people like him. "I want to start my own company," Leo told Sarah one evening. "I'm going to call it Code Heart, because coding is what I love, and you taught me to always follow my heart." Sarah smiled, tears in her eyes. "That's a perfect name, Leo. You've always had a big heart." Code Heart specialized in developing technology that made life easier for people with disabilities. Leo's vision was to use his unique mind to create solutions for others like him. His company quickly grew, attracting talented programmers who shared his passion. One day, as Leo stood in his office, looking out at the bustling city below, he whispered, "We're making a difference, Mom. We're changing lives." Meanwhile, Sarah watched with pride as her son transformed from a quiet, misunderstood boy into a confident, successful man. "You've come so far, Leo," she would tell him, her heart full. "I always knew you would." Years later, after hearing of Leo's success, James reached out to him. "Leo, it's your dad," he said nervously over the phone. "I've heard about everything you've done. I'd like to see you, if you're willing." Leo, with the wisdom and maturity that had come from his journey, agreed to meet his father. When they met, James looked older, worn down by years of regret. "I'm so sorry, Leo," James said, tears streaming down his face. "I should never have left you and your mother. I was weak. I was scared." Leo listened quietly, then spoke with the calmness that had always been a part of him. "You left, but we found our way, Dad. Mom and I found our way," he said softly. "And now, I'm helping others find theirs." James, filled with regret but also admiration, nodded. "I'm so proud of you, Leo. I hope one day you can forgive me." Leo looked at his father for a long moment, then said, "I've already started. But it takes time. As the years went on, Cold Heart continued to flourish, and Leo became a well-known figure in the tech world. "We're changing lives," he often said to his team. "And that's what matters most." But to Sarah, he would always be her little boy, the boy who saw the world in patterns and numbers, who turned challenges into opportunities, and who, despite everything, never lost his heart. "You've always had the biggest heart, Leo," she would say, holding his hand. And in the end, it was that heart, coupled with Sarah's faith, that made all the difference. One day Leo was nominated as the nation's youngest tech man, and he won with massive votes. As Leo stood proudly on the award grounds, receiving his award as the youngest tech prodigy in the country, the applause of the audience filled the air. Just as he was about to speak, a sudden commotion erupted at the back of the room. A woman, dressed in worn, faded clothes, burst out from the crowd, her voice trembling as she cried, "He is my son. He is my son." The crowd fell silent, eyes shifting between Leo and the woman, whose face was filled with raw emotion. Before anyone could react, she pushed through the onlookers, running up to Leo and wrapping her arms around him in a desperate embrace. Leo froze, glancing back at his mother, Sarah, who looked as stunned as he was. The woman clung to him, tears streaming down her face, and the whole room waited, holding its breath. To be continued.